Hey, what up, guys? Welcome back, Fast Frends. We're doing an episode this time with no guest. It's just Jeff and I sitting here explaining to you guys who we are, where we came from, and a little bit about ourselves, and kind of our little journey of starting a podcast, why we did this, and kind of where we're at.
Yeah. Welcome to Fast Frends. No guest, but we kind of were talking like, hey, Kyle, we've never really explained to anybody what the deal is here, like who we are, how we came up. Like, we're just a couple of dirt bike guys, like everyone else. So, we thought our past, our present, our future is all gonna be dirt bikes. That's just kind of the way it was laid out in our life. So. We both haven't raced for years, but this idea came about to start a podcast and kind of share our friendships, share our stories, and all that stuff with all of you guys, give you guys kind of like an inside scoop, make you feel like you're sitting on the couch right here. And the future is looking bright. I mean, we're both looking to take this thing on a journey. So
Yeah, we want to do some fun stuff with this. And then also, so you know, the giveaway we have going on right now with this Jason Anderson jersey and pants that he hooked us up with for you guys, that's up and going. You basically just have to go to the website, fastfriends.com, purchase one item, and it gets you entry into this giveaway. And then there's a limited run of Fast Frends number 21 shirts on there. And anybody that purchases a 21 shirt, it gets you 2 entries for this giveaway during Jason. Yeah.
Those shirts were badass. When are those dropping?
They drop today.
Today. All right.
Yeah.
Perfect. Fastfriends.com. Frends on Friends. And cop yourself a Jason Anderson 21 shirt, and you are qualified to win a full gear set signed.
Yeah, and as well as the Stay Safe and the grand prize. We picked that December 8th. Yep. But anyways, hope you guys enjoy our podcast here where we're just explaining who we are, talking the talk, and where we grew up and how we got into this. And, good luck on the giveaway, and hope you guys keep tuned in. What's up, guys? Welcome to Fast Frends. Guess what? This time, we don't even have a guest. It's just myself and Jeff.
What's up, guys? Welcome to a guestless Fast Frends. We thought, you know what, Kyle? We've been doing this for maybe almost a year now, and we've never told anybody anything about ourselves whatsoever. We've done 8 episodes without 8 intros, and we've always kind of just wanted to like get with you guys, the viewers and stuff, and whoever's a fan of this little deal we're doing, and just kind of let you guys know where we came from, what we're all about.
Yeah, for sure. First of all, thank you so much for watching, everybody that's tuned in. Thank you to all of our guests that have came on. We've had a legendary run. All 8 of them are just such cool dudes. They're all killing it with their craft and their game constantly. Just mad respect for all these guys that we have on here, and thanks to all you guys. But yeah, we thought it would be really cool to introduce ourselves and let you guys know who we are, where we came from, things like that. So
Kyle, how do we get these guests? Like, how do we have McGrath and Bierman and Cab and Wilson and Evans and Rhino, and Justin Mulford and
the
Anderson.
list goes on.
How where did you grow up? Like, how do you let's get a little background on Kyle Krause. Like, what city did you grow up in? When did you discover dirt bikes? Like, just give us a little rundown on your little moto career.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We'll do that. All right. So I was actually grew up in the Temecula, Murrieta area. So right in the mecca of the moto scene. Grew up racing at Paris Raceway, Star West, Glen Helen, all these local tracks out here. I had a fun time racing as a kid. I had a crazy accident when I was 15. I was in a coma for a little while, 5 days to be exact. And it was a medically induced coma. I had some swelling on the brain and a broken back at the time. So it was, I guess it was a smart thing to do to keep me out for 5 days. So anyways,
5 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I came out of that, didn't remember anything, but I pretty much got the rug pulled out from under me there. With the head trauma that I had and the back injury that I had, it just kind of, my parents didn't really want to support what we were doing anymore. So kind of came to a screeching halt, but I was still super into motocross and racing and all that. So I always paid attention to it. And 5 years later, I actually started riding again just for fun. And my good friend at the time, and was actually my roommate, his name's Sean Hamlin. And I'm sure you guys have heard of him. The dude was just sick ass style, so fast, dude. I mean, you remember how fast Sean was?
Yeah, Sean was like our local hero. Dude ripped on a dirt bike. We all knew it. And then, excuse me, he started kind of ripping real hard at some local tracks and stuff. I remember at the races like Glen Helen, he could dominate people.
Yeah.
Anyway, he was like privateer. I was racing World Mini one year. He was there racing like the pro class on a Yamaha, like just throwing it out there. And dude, like the dream got locked in. Dude became factory Suzuki.
Yeah.
And we all were like, what? We never seen that path to it.
Yeah.
And so
yeah. I mean, literally, he got the call from DeCoster to fill in when Pastrana and Wyndham were hurt that year on the Sobe Suzuki team. So a lot of thanks to Sean Hamlin, because with us being friends, I was able to meet a lot of the people in the industry and kind of see that first class factory lifestyle. And it was fun to be a part of that.
A lot of people met at that Menifee house. That thing
yeah,
was
our house.
your
house.
Your
the
house was
going. Yeah.
for any kid like me that was, I don't even know, early 20, about maybe probably a little earlier than that. Like, I can go. J-Law's house is down the street from Hamlin's. And like, there's a party at each one.
Yeah.
And
if one of them's not going, you go the other
you
one.
could go meet like the podium at the party after Anaheim.
Yeah.
And that was a wild. That's when you and I started to kind of
we kind of started hanging out more during those times.
Yeah.
Which year? Maybe the end of 2004, I want to say.
Around that era, yeah.
Yeah, and Monster Energy was coming onto the scene at that time, and his agent, who was also the marketing director for Monster, Scott Sepkovic, he offered me a position to work for Monster and manage athletes and be at the events and do all these things, which was a blessing. It was amazing. And for the next 5 or 6 years after that, we spent just every day in and day out. I mean, we were at every single Supercross, every outdoor, every amateur national, all the local events, putting on events, doing parties, and going to the banquets whenever we could make it.
The dream
like
job, dude.
Yeah, it was awesome, and I was able to meet so many cool people throughout that time. Right, when we started at Monster, we were nothing, and then. I mean, I remember we had to sneak drinks into the pits because we weren't allowed to bring Monster Energy onto the premises because everything was Red Bull accounts, and it was just we weren't allowed in.
Now you have to bring a can to get in.
Now you have to bring a can to
you
get in.
weren't allowed to get in. Yeah, how things have changed.
It's crazy to see how full circle and how well Monster did everything. Like, they really poured all their budget, everything they had, like, into moto. And anyways, it was awesome being a part of all that. So I got to meet a lot of fun people and be a part of a lot of fun things through that. In the meantime, I also started working with Spy and running their moto program, and then ended up at Spy full time for 8 years. I want to say I was at Spy. I spent 4 years with Shoei Helmets doing their off-road stuff, their off-road program. And then I also did some endurance testing stuff with Kawasaki for a few years there. That was fun, with like Dylan Epstein and Sean Borkenhagen, riding the dirt bikes, and then also side-by-side stand-up jet skis in the ocean. We were doing testing, doing all that. So it was a lot of fun, like just meeting so many different people in your network and everything you're building. And so anyways, that's my past in the industry. There was a lot of great connections made throughout that, you know?
Yeah, I worked at Spy when you hired me. I worked there for one day. I forget. Remember, I did something. I did resumes or something for you. You paid me like $600. I worked for like a day. It was the best day of work ever.
I think I do remember that.
Remember that?
Yeah.
You're like,
it was like the Hook It resumes or something.
yeah, there's a bunch of them. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah.
And every kid wants like, the McGrath deal. And they
Yeah.
got a Cobra 50.
Yeah. So anyways, dude, I had a lot of fun in this industry, man. There was like, it got to a point where it was like, dude, this is my family.
Yeah.
Right? Like you go to the race, I'm like, literally everyone thinks the same. Everyone's got the same goals. Everyone's just trying to have a good time, and we're all just hanging out. And I'm not in the industry anymore. I don't necessarily work for a company. I don't go to the races every weekend. But I think about it all the time. So I thought, let's start a little podcast. And Jeff, you've been around forever. Why don't you give us a little history on yourself too? Jeff's been around.
Dirt bikes are in my DNA. There's no denying it. Was born in Long Beach, 1986. I'm starting at the very beginning, but I'll be quick. But anyway, so my family was always really rad. We loved like going to the beach, going on the boat, mountain biking, whatever we could do. My dad, Scott Bell, he motoed his whole life. Was super fast, local pro guy. Always went to Paris, watched him when I was a little kid. His older brother, my uncle Mike Too Tall Bell, was 1980 Supercross champion. So I kind of, from a really young age, that was me. It's what I did. That was like what I daydreamed about. Like I would do fake interviews, like on the front lawn, like on the VHS camcorder, like I'm Jeff Ward. And like I'm telling them who I'm racing against Ricky Johnson. Like that was just me as a kid. I didn't know anything about any other sport really.
And then your uncle, who's your uncle?
Yeah, my uncle Mike, Too Tall, 1980 Supercross champ. So like my grandpa Bill built the first 4-stroke dirt bike to win Baja 500. I'm pretty sure he ran Long Beach Honda for a number of years. Super smart mechanical engineer. Google Bill Bell's Baja Bullet. Someone made a 7-page website about him and all his motors he built, stroking, like all this stuff back in the 60s and 70s.
That's your dad's dad.
My dad's dad, yeah.
Nice.
Bill Bell. And so anyway, to say the least, like I was born into it. 3rd birthday, got my PW50 right down the street. It's on from there, like. And then we throw this other thing in the mix. My dad's best friend is this guy named Jeremy McGrath. And like, so it's like, it was a trip. I loved it so much. Jeremy was always just like such a cool, normal guy, just like literally like a family member. And I started getting really, really into it. And Jeremy was there to help, like he didn't have to, but like he was seriously like my sponsor. Like at 16, my 125 had Bud Light graphics on it, and like I had his gear head to toe. All the kids thought he's racing Jeremy's bike and all this stuff. I'm like, it's just stickers. There's a little bit of skill, but like anyway, yeah, just grew up the whole scene. Probably crossed paths with you, like Paris Raceway.
Yeah,
growing up, we're both Hot Summers Nights champions.
Oh yeah.
If anybody else has that red windbreaker, you either deliver pizza or you're a Hot Summer Nights champion.
I think mine was like 96 or 97. What year was yours?
I think 2001.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we are getting a little older nowadays. So I'm sure there's a bunch of you kids that probably weren't even born during that time.
So yeah, went on, raced through my 20s, had support from MC. At one point, one year, thought I wanted to branch off and be my own thing. That didn't really work out. And just kind of, everyone's like, why didn't you make it? Why didn't you make it? It's like, well, some people just have a great time growing up doing it, and we never are trying to make it. You know what I mean? Like we just love it, and then you get knocked out 10 times. You lacerate your spleen. You wake up in the ICU, and you haven't even drank a beer yet, and you're like, dude, life starts to change a little bit.
Yeah,
so.
Not everybody can make it, But
yeah.
I would say we had a pretty good time, though. I'll leave it at that, and I'm thankful for everything that's happened, regardless injuries or whatever, and just having fun.
Yeah, I was just super fortunate. I just tell everyone, like, if you love basketball and your dad's best friend was Michael Jordan, you kind of can understand how stoked and tripped out I was all the time.
Yeah, but true MC fan right here.
Dude, truest, like, I'll fight you if you say anything bad about him. Like, when I was a little kid. But no, so anyway, super rad, like, got all these awesome, like, connections, feels like family. Got drug along to Havasu, got to see things that nobody else saw or knows about. I knew every team and gear.
What happened? Tell us.
You got to ask MC about that.
We'll ask him maybe on the next episode. But next time we get him on here, let's get some.
There used to be an off season.
Yeah, but we need some we need some dirty Havasu stories. So
he's come back on. Yeah, we'll go Havasu. I got to find Mom's old photo album. I'll just say polka dot shorts and like. That's all he needs to know.
Oh, okay, shit.
We got some funny pictures. Copper Canyon.
So, dude, let's change subject.
Yep.
You kind of know who we are a little bit. There's some other history stuff there, obviously. It'll keep coming out.
I mean, also, I never could get the jobs you got. I worked at shops. I always was pumped on you because I'm like, I want to do what Kyle does.
Really?
I want to do what Malcolm McCaskey does. I want to be Kyle. I want to be Malcolm. Like, that's what I want to do. It just never like panned out for me. So I kind of just pivoted into like bartending and stuff to pay the bills. But 38 years old, a couple of years older than that over here. And even after we haven't ridden or really been super in depth involved with the sport, look at where it all came back to.
Yeah, we're sitting here talking to our friends.
Yeah.
And we're having fun with it. So the podcast idea, it's kind of random how this started. Just so we wanted to share a little bit of this with you guys. Is like, I've never even been on a podcast. I'm not somebody who has like been interviewed or interviewed people. I always kind of honestly thought like that it was cool watching people do that, but it just never was me, right? And then one day I thought to myself, I got a couple phone calls from a few friends in the industry. A few of them have been on this show, and I thought to myself, maybe we should do a podcast. I kind of know someone that knows how to film and do some editing, and I think Jeff is a fucking hilarious dude and says funny shit. So I was like, and he ain't even warmed up yet. Dude.
Yeah,
the
I was
more
telling him earlier.
This guy's tight. The more he warms up, the more funny shit is gonna come spilling out of his mouth. But anyways, I thought he would be funny to have on the show, so I said, hey, let's try this. Hey, let's do this. Let's try a test shoot. And I'm like, who should we get? I'm like, well, I'm pretty good friends with Tyler Behrman. Let's just see if he'd help a homie out and just give us our first show. So he gave us our first show. Tyler, thank you so much.
Yeah.
You're the man.
Awesome.
And then number 2, our second guest was Jeremy, which was awesome. I Jeff's family friend history and all that's great, and I have quite a history too with Jeremy, so it really worked out to have him. And then from there we kind of caught traction and kept going. But it's like, it's such a unique thing because it's like it didn't exist. You're not Fast Frends, the name, the logo, the cameras, the this, the that, the inviting people over, scheduling it, shooting it, editing it, posting it, doing all this stuff is like didn't exist, and we didn't even know it was going to exist. And now here we are.
Yeah, companies.
And we're just trying to keep going.
Like, amazing people giving us amazing things to give away to amazing fans. Like, it's all love, dude. Like, it's all good. And like, when you called me and said, hey, do you want to, we should do this podcast. And then I opened my notebook from 5 years ago and it says Moto Podcast in like, so I've wanted to do this for years. And then finally I just had to wait for the right guy to be ready. And you came up with that on your own terms. And then hit me up and I'm like, thank you. And then, dude, we have 8 episodes and I think 4 or 5 of the names I had written down
are on there.
They were on the show already.
That's awesome.
The only difference was the podcast was hosted by me and my dad. Because
it would have been great.
Like, think about like the funniest, craziest dude I know.
Yeah, dad's too busy hanging out with MC.
He's too busy. Yeah, but
yeah, these giveaways too that we're doing and that we've done one with almost every one of our guests. It's kind of like, I feel like it's a fun thing to do, and it's our way to give back to you guys, the viewers and people who are helping this going. Is like, I always thought it was cool to get a jersey or anything like that when I was a fan or a kid or whatever, and it still is awesome to have these things, from these legends. So that's what that's all about. It's awesome giving back to you guys. We've done it just for comments and likes up to this point. Now we're trying to sell some of that merch on the website because a business has to make money at
Yeah,
the
I
end
mean,
of the day.
we want to keep going. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
if you any support, any merch that any of you guys purchase from us, we truly appreciate it from the bottom of our heart, and it's all just to keep giving you more stuff. Like, we're not trying to make you buy anything. We're generating a little cash flow to just keep things going. So we really appreciate that.
Yeah, and I mean, if you don't win one of the prizes, you're still gonna get a cool shirt or hat or whatever it is you buy.
Yeah.
And then you just might happen to win a Jason Anderson set of gear or McGrath set of gear or Stasic, and the Stasic's one of our partners, which is awesome. Thanks to them for hooking up that bike. So anyways, good luck and congrats to whoever wins that thing. That's going to be cool. It's going to be cool to hook someone up with that.
Pitching Christmas present for somebody's kid. I mean,
yeah.
All right, Kyle. So you like to live with factory riders, I found out. Because when I met you, you live with Hamlin. But only a couple streets down, I meet you again. But now you live at this place.
Oh,
and it's this dude named Jason Lawrence.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't think he was factory at the time, but I don't know.
He still was.
You know what? I don't know if he ever was completely factory.
Okay. All right. Well, all right. You got me there. I think he was, but he won.
Should have been.
He won the championship. He beat Ryan Dungey.
Yeah.
But no. So Kyle, you lived with Hamlin at the beginning. And then, I mean, party scene was going strong. Everyone was having a good time. I mean, so now you move down the street and you live with Jason Lawrence, and the other roommate is
Ryan Mills.
Ryan Mills. Wherever you are, Ryan, how's it going?
And we
haven't seen you in a long time.
He's just gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know. We miss you.
Hope you're good.
Anyways, yeah, the Jason thing, that was wild. Check this out. So we met at like amateur races. He was a monster kid and I was monster team manager. So I would work with him, but just very like surface level. Like he was just an amateur kid from New Jersey that I heard only rode when there wasn't snow on the ground because he lived in New Jersey. So I'm like thinking, man, it's a lot different than most people I know out here in Cali.
So when you guys were helping him out, that's kind of the beginning when he's on a Suzuki, right?
Yeah, Suzuki amateur kid and number 38, yeah, and he ended up he flew out here one year to test a bike with Suzuki or something, and rode a little bit, and then was really fast, and we were like, wow, like at the local tracks, passing guys who were winning or on the podium at the nationals the previous year. So we're like, wow, this kid's really fast. So he ended up starting racing pro earlier than expected. He raced like the third national, I think it was, in 2005, and it was he wasn't going to, like, he still had to race Loretta's that year.
Yeah.
And so
so he wasn't even like didn't have the rock star thing yet. He was
no, it was still like with Cole Grass and the Suzuki, like the amateur team stuff. And it was cool going to Loretta's, watching him win all the motos that year. He won 5 out of 6 motos, which was pretty cool.
And he was on a 2-stroke?
No.
But he wasn't rock star yet?
No, this was...
So I was there a year that he won like 5 out of 6 motos.
Oh, okay,
maybe I got the bike mixed up. But
no, yeah, he was monster kid. And I'm pretty sure it's the helmet from Loretta's.
One Industries.
Still have it downstairs. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And but anyways, so he raced Southwick, did really well there. Got 7th, I want to say, like in the first moto, and second moto I didn't finish. I don't think, I can't really remember exactly, but the next race was Budds Creek, and so he was going to move out to California and live with me in this house that Sepp Kovic had bought that we were renting from him down the street from Hamlin, right? So I fly one-way ticket to Budds Creek to meet Jason. He drove there in his old F-150 with a couple bikes and like as much clothes and random shit as he could fit like in the truck. And we were going to drive back from Budds Creek all the way back here, right?
The truck.
Yeah. I just want to let you know, first of all, Budds Creek in Maryland, that's on the East Coast, okay?
Very
like
East Coast.
the very East Coast.
Yeah.
And we're driving to the very West Coast, okay? And so I didn't know Jason very well at the time. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, this is a cool, funny amateur kid, rad kid. And
Yeah.
now he's killing it and whatever. And he's going to be my roommate. So we're going to get to know each other on this road trip, right?
Yeah.
So we get in the truck and we start driving after the weekend, which I think he did pretty well again at the races. I forget what he did there. But we start driving. I'm like, I'll drive this thing first. I got to feel what this truck's like all about. And we get to the very first light in Mechanicsville, Maryland.
Yeah.
And the truck's like, and it dies at the light. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? I'm like, what happened? He's like, it's kind of like a 2-stroke. He's like, you got to kind of put your foot on the brake, but you got to kind of keep the gas going. I'm like, and we're just going to drive all the way across the whole United States right now in this thing. Oh, yeah. He's like, oh, yeah, man, this thing's been doing this for a while. We're good. I'm like,
screw cleaning the fuel injectors, just braking gas.
Yeah, no. So we start going, and like, I'm telling you, within the first 20 to 30 minutes, I'm like,
not so sure.
This is an interesting dude right here. Like, I'm looking at him like, is he ever going to stop, dude? This guy is freaking hilarious, right? So, dude, our road trip, I mean, you can imagine I was still young, too. I was only like 25 or 26 or something, and he was 18, I think. And, dude, our road trip across America was amazing. We got lost a couple times, did some fun stuff, and on the very end, like, we had to make it back home by Wednesday, I think it was, because he had some Suzuki shoot thing that he had to do at Glen Helen on Thursday morning. So we ended up getting back, and the truck is just running so bad, dude. It's barely like going. Like, you had to stay on the gas. It's barely starting. We're having to spray injector fluid like in the thing to start it each time. And then we go, dude. And so we're like, we made it home, and the next day we're like, dude, we just need this truck just to make it to Glen Helen. And we do the same thing, the starter fluid, we just slamming this thing in gear, dude,
to go race the professional motocross national.
Well, no, he's just going to test for Suzuki, like, but we're trying to make it there. We make it there, and then the thing wouldn't start or move after that. We had to leave the truck there, and he got it towed from there, and who knows what happened after that. He got it fixed or did something with it, but I don't know if that truck who knows what happened to that thing. But anyways, wild story meeting Jason. That was our initiation into becoming friends and cruising out here to California. And
yeah, no, I mean, just to think about how the lifestyle that was going down, and like the dude was winning like races during that whole era. Like, do you remember Jason would win the Supercross at Anaheim? The house is only an hour away. Where's the after party? At your house.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Then we got most of the top 10.
They're coming over.
Partying.
Doors open.
It was just mind blowing. It was like, these experiences are not common. This is not normal. Someday we need to make a podcast and talk about this, you know?
Yeah. Like, the house was just unbelievable. Like, we had just a fun group of friends at the time. Everyone was full pure sending it. I mean, we were riding pit bikes a ton, partying a ton, traveling. Jason was racing at the highest level, winning races, winning championship.
Yeah.
And it was an amazing time of my life, and I think all of our lives.
We were still riding too.
Yeah, I was riding a ton, and it was pretty cool. Like, working with Monster when we had the Kawasaki relationship, it was awesome because Cowie would give me a bike. Like, I was parts. I mean, like, I've all of a sudden I'm like, I felt very taken care of as far as a rider goes. I'm just riding for fun. And racing here and there when I can.
I finagled a couple free bikes to ride for the year from a few shops, and like, I'm thinking back, like, I was barely even racing. Like, the ego of me to think I deserved a free dirt bike, but I got a few.
Well, yeah. Relationships go a long way.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we had, that was just such a great time. But, and then a lot of other cool guys I got to meet throughout that too, obviously. You know, working with like Jeremy and guys like that. And Grant Langston was always so awesome to work with. Grant, you're fucking hilarious.
Dude, and
man.
the random times, like, because I went on a 32-day J-Law bus trip because I wasn't going to not go on a 32-day J-Law bus
a
trip.
little bit of Jason,
dude.
didn't you? The Arma Energy bus.
Arma bus. Me and Joey Velatico. You've heard about him on this show before. Everyone loves Joey. No one ever wants to fight him. But, dude, we got that motorhome seized in New Mexico for 13 hours on the way home from that trip.
Oh, yeah. They thought you guys were up to something sketchy.
They looked at both of us. They're like, nah, you're going to stay here for a while. But,
hey, speaking of how Jeff was saying nobody wants to fight Joey. Dude, the guy, I would never want to fight the guy either. There's something about like his right hook or whatever he does when he's throwing blows, but the dude lays people out at Morgantown, West Virginia. These three dudes, big dudes, bigger than all three of us that were supposed to try to put up a fight with these guys. We get kicked out of the bar, bent willies.
Willies.
I think I might have even talked about this to Rhino, but
you
dude,
did. You
he
told Rhino.
knocked all three of those dudes out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, by himself. Like,
and you had a broken collarbone, so you're screwed.
Or your leg or something. We didn't do shit. And so Joey, and then it was like a couple weeks later, we were at some party at his house in Massachusetts at the lake. And there's some fight starts breaking out, and he lays some dude out. And then the cops start chasing us. We run, we jump on this pontoon boat, Joey's pontoon boat, and as the cops are running towards us, we're just reverse the boat into the lake, and they didn't get us, dude, and we fucking jammed it all the way home,
I think
dude.
I don't think I was there that year, but I did stay at Joey's.
And you've been to that lake. Mary's.
That lake is
what was it?
What
was it?
I thought it was called like
Mary's on the lake or something. Anyways.
Oh, the bar on the lake?
Yeah, that bar.
Yeah, me and I had a good time that night. That was with Carmella from the WWE. And me and her became best friends that night. And everyone was so pissed at us the next day, mostly at me. But I remember asking Joey's East Coast dad, like, hey, how are you? And he looks at me and goes, how the fuck are you? I'm like, oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I did just wake up at 1:30 in the afternoon.
These guys are just New England straight senders.
Classic awesome
Italian.
people.
We own the Italian restaurant over here.
And the lobsters, yeah.
They got lobsters, you know? They
Classic
got boats.
people, though. Love them. They're awesome.
Yeah. Amazing.
You want Joey on your team.
But so so you're driving the motorhome with Joey, the Arma.
Yeah, and you were with us
motorhome.
you showed up and did a couple rounds with us.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't come from the beginning, but you showed up, and I think you met up with us at maybe Unadilla or one of those rounds over there.
Yeah, it was the Dilla.
And then it was on. Jason really didn't talk to me the first 2 weeks, and then he seriously, because of something that happened at a party 3 years before that. And then I remember when you got there, us three started hanging out, and then he started to think I was okay. And then we smoked a blunt on the road into Unadilla with all the factory rigs coming up the road and just waving to everyone. Jason just, I'm like, okay, this is this guy.
Yeah.
Like, he's him. He falls asleep easy at night.
Oh, and then we took the motorhome. I remember we took the motorhome to a race in Long Island, New York.
Oh, that was one of the best weekends ever. We put the thing full of chicks on the ferry and partied the whole time on the ferry until we got there.
We brought the girls to the race. Yeah.
I just want to say
Joey wrangled them in.
I want to say Martin Davalos. Props, bud. He became a little hero of mine.
Oh no, he cool.
Can send
Martin
it.
Davalos.
He can send it.
No, he's not scared.
I'll never forget what I saw in that motorhome.
Oh, you saw
We'll just leave it at that. Yeah, I opened the door and I was,
dude, if that motorhome, if that motorhome could talk, that motorhome didn't just travel from race to race. That thing was lived in.
It's been wrapped multiple ways. It's had the back end ripped off.
It started out as Mike Brown's motorhome.
Yeah.
So it had a nice, like, easy transition into the real world, and then it got handed over to Jason and all of us, and it was just the wheels were falling off that thing. Literally, the back of the motorhome. The last day, me and McGriddle all of our good friend, R.I.P. McGriddle.
Yeah, R.I.P. McGriddle.
Yeah, he left us a little too soon. He just beat us all to heaven, so whatever. But anyways, yeah, after the last race at Steel City, he's like turning around this corner, and I'm thinking to myself, hey, you're gonna hit that thing, that big, huge electrical box thing. And he's like, no. He's like, don't tell me how to drive. I'm like, all right, whatever. So if you're not gonna hit it, just go. So he goes, and we're gonna throw the picture up right here.
You could just turn around and look out the back of the motorhome.
Literally, like completely rip the thing off, dude, in downtown Pittsburgh.
And he's so classic. He's just like,
yeah, didn't even matter.
Yep. I guess I hit that.
Like, we were able to get up the next morning and basically rig that thing all back together with a bunch of screws. And Ryan Morris's dad, Tim Morris, called him, and he came to save the day and help us.
That's also who got us out of New Mexico.
Oh, he helped you there.
He was in the Asterix rig. He was like 3 hours, or he was 13 hours behind us because that's how long we were held there. As soon as he got there, he walked in. There's like 5 sheriffs in the office, and he lit them up, dude. Motherfuck these guys. Like, what are you holding these boys on nothing? Like, this is like blah, blah, blah. Because he knows all the laws he's a truck driver.
Yeah.
So he was like called BS, and they all just like, yes, sir, him, and like,
nice.
We left. It was
yeah,
sick.
Tim Morris was awesome. He always, he was like our guy whenever the motorhome would break or.
Also, Joey was solo on the drive home. Remember, and the windshield fell out. He drove it through Utah with no windshield, with dirt bike goggles on.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like 30 degrees.
Yeah.
And then on the way out on our trip, he's like, hey, Bell, you ever driven one of these? We're going like 90 in the big ass motor. I'm like, no. He goes, try it out, and just gets out of the driver's seat. So I jump in there like, oh, shit. And I'm like, whoa, we're wobbling. And I don't remember, it might have been me driving or him, but we're passing a semi and got a big gust of wind. And the top of the motorhome and this hit each other.
Oh,
I don't know what lie we told Scott about how the side window flew out.
Yeah.
But we made up something else. But yeah, we banged bars with a semi truck and that lost that window. And then on the way back, he had on the spies driving through Utah freezing.
I remember that that bathroom and that window because I don't know if any of you guys have ever in a motorhome just gone taking a number 2 while you're cruising down the freeway. But you just kind of sit there and look out the window. It's pretty nice and peaceful. Like, I remember thinking, like, I don't know if I've taken a shit this nice. But anyways, yeah, it's pretty good.
So, yeah, the J-Law era and the Arma bus and just millions of stories that they will be told, but they're going to be told the right way with the right people.
Yeah, there's so many more stories. I can't even, I don't think right now is the time to dig them all up. We'll have to get Jason on the show eventually if you guys want to have Jason here and see how many of these stories we can dig into with him because, there's so many in my head just thinking about them all, and some you can't tell, some you got to kind of tell a little different.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be fun if he kind of just brought up the shit.
I think anybody watching this, just go down to the comments and just write J-Law if you guys want to see J-Law.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just see how many J-Laws we get.
Yeah, let him know.
Just J-L-A-W.
He's sure active these days.
He's
really, really racing, riding a lot.
That's the thing, dude. Look at his career. He went away for a while. It all comes back to moto. It's what makes us all happy. It's how we were raised. It was spending the weekends with my family. Like, talk about a family that spends more time together than a moto family.
Yeah.
Literally,
no,
it's the whole, the
tight-knit.
sisters, the mom, the dog, the grandma, the grandpa. Everyone's all in.
Yep.
Dad's working his ass off to make it all happen.
It's just a straight up lifestyle. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So with all that said, with Fast Frends and what we're doing here, what the ultimate goal is and where we're going with this thing is we're going to keep putting out content. We're going to keep filming with legendary people. And we would love to have like not only just top tier racers on here, but all kinds of walks of life from this industry and like any industry close to it and share that all with you guys. We'd also like to be involved in events, put on our own fun little events and parties. I've been involved in putting events together throughout the years, and actually, one of the events that I do want to bring up that I had a lot of fun with.
The Del Moto Derby.
Is the Del Moto Derby that we ran at the Del Mar Fairgrounds when I was at Spy. This is one of the bottles from the podium. But anyways, that was a lot of fun. I was working with Victor Sheldon at Spy at the time, and he knew somebody over at the Del Mar Fairgrounds, and we ended up linking this race together there, and we ran it for 3 years. And if you were there, or you raced it, or had a good time there,
Yeah,
give us a thumbs up,
Yeah,
give us a comment,
yeah.
and you had fun. I think everyone there had a good time. But yeah, we would like to do more events, like similar to like that. We would like to sponsor kids. We would like to give back to the sport in any way we can, and make our guests look the best we can, and do what we can here to, be a player in the industry.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I wholeheartedly agree with you. Like, it's kind of crazy to sit here and say we want to give back to the sport, because we gave a lot to it. But like, that's in our heart. We want to give. It's not like we're sitting here like, oh, we got $1 million, we're going to give back, we're going to donate this or whatever. Like, no, we're like working our butts off to like be able to give you stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's our priority. Like, we're not going to do an episode and not have a gear set sign to give to somebody. You know what I mean? Like, that's the mindset. Like, everything is going to become more interactive. Like, we really want to create a media company here. We want to help the sport. We want to support like up and coming kids. We want it to be a family thing. We want it to be fun. We just want to get people on two wheels and smiling and have them get as much out of it as we have in our lives to this point.
Yeah.
And we're just getting started.
Hell yeah, that's a good way to put it. Speaking of the giveaway stuff, one of the giveaways that was going on right now is the Jason Anderson thing, but we have basically a month-long worth of giveaways. The first one was Tyler Behrman, who was our first guest, and it was cool to run that. The winner of that, Tyler McNeil, if you're watching this, yeah, it was cool that you won that. Got to pick the Jeremy one still. That one just ended. And then the current one that's going on now is the Jason Anderson gear giveaway. It's his jersey and pants signed. And we're also going to include a Liquid Force checkered flag change towel with that.
The change towel, for people that don't know, which we were just talking, this is crazy. This isn't super popular in moto, but it's like the poncho. It's like a towel. It's a poncho.
Yeah, it's a towel. It's a poncho.
That you can comfortably change in with
that. Yeah. At the end of the day, I mean, like, I know everybody's changing their gear at the track because I did it for years, and
if you don't
for
have a
years
sprinter, you're naked.
You sit in the back of your truck and you pull your pants off and you got your shit hanging out, and then you put in or you can throw the change towel on.
Stylish poncho.
Wipe that mud off your face. Yeah. Wipe that sweat off your brand. Yeah. Freaking change. Let your junk air out a little bit. You know what I mean? It's like, I think the change towel's a thing.
Tailgate.
Yeah.
Say what up to the ladies
before you throw your Mendids back on.
Exactly.
But anyway, so yeah, we're throwing that in there. And then the grand prize for this whole thing, which every entry, which is one item purchased, is one entry. So each item is a ticket. And the grand prize, which we'll pick on December 8th, is a 16-inch e-drive Stasic electric bike. And so we're stoked to be giving that to some lucky winner.
I wish we had that when we were little. You know, the advantage of being able to start and learn like throttle control and stuff. It's amazing company.
Yeah,
super cool brand. Like, super thankful for you guys like being on board and helping out with that giveaway. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, it is
for Christmas too. It's like perfect.
So anyways, go to fastfrends.com. Friends without an I. There is no I in Friends.
It's true.
Because if you think about it, there literally is no I in Friends. It's a bunch of us.
Yeah, we're all in this together.
But anyways, go to the website, pick an item out, win some stuff.
Yeah.
Help us keep going. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening to us talk for a little while and explain a little bit about ourselves and who we are, where we came from. There's a lot more to be said. You'll learn more about us throughout our journey here, and stay tuned for our upcoming guests. We're excited about the future.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Any suggestions, any guests you guys want to see, just hit the DMs. Just hit the DM on Instagram. Me and Kyle will be on there. And yeah, we're up for anything, any suggestions, but we're super stoked to be going into the first year of this journey, going on to year 2. And we just are super excited to try to entertain you guys and bring you guys some great motocross content and non-motocross content of that. So here we go.